Okay, here it is. Listen to this thing. And see, it has this paddle, so in the wind hits that, and then it moves that. Now we had this installed way up high, off of a deck at an angled ceiling, and so it was way up there in the corner. It wasn't bothering anybody. I hung it on the string, and it came down lower. I was able to raise it up, but look at this. It's right where the door is. I'm hitting that, and had I been thinking, I should have measured that first, because all I was thinking of was the old swag hook was right there with a very small little chime on there from years ago before we even purchased this house. And I wanted to cover up that hole and stuff. I should have measured this whole thing, okay? And had I could have maybe decided to install this somewhere else. Maybe I should have installed it way over there in the corner, you know, over there. And the Weber usually is over here. Even if it was right there, it would be in such a location where nobody's going to hit their head on it, okay? And I told Mommy about it, and she seemed to be fine with it. She says, "Oh no, it's fine." She's gonna like to hear it. It's closer to the door. Sometimes she's gonna have the door open, even if she doesn't have the door open. If she's got the windows open, she's gonna be able to hear it from here more so than over there. Okay, but had it been me, and later on down the road, guess what? I may end up taking this down and finding some caulking. And the type of caulking I got construction adhesive, and it's almost the same color as the stucco up there. Okay, and I could put that up there. I could let that dry. I've got some stucco patch actually for this particular stucco. I could just patch that small little hole, let's say, and do this all over again. But if I do, when I take that one down, the little wing bolt is gonna stay up in the ceiling. Well, lucky for me, I've got the extra one. Okay, and you can go to the store if you need an extra one. You can go to the store and get a little package kind of like that with one or two in there the same size as this, let's say, and then I would have the wings, because I'm going to need, because when you unscrew this, that wing bolt stays up in the ceiling. See, so maybe later on down the road, if this gives us fits, I'll show you what I'm talking about. My loss is your gain, right? That's what my videos are all about. Stuff to help you save some money and stuff. Here, I'm going to hit this if I'm not careful. Come in through the door, we're just going to have to walk through this, and she'll probably get used to it. But after once or twice whacking herself on her face and stuff, if she ends up wanting that move, it's going to be very simple for me to do. It's going to take me a little bit longer than this, obviously, to patch the hole, put some stucco patch up in there, and then come over here. I'd have to move the Weber over here, strategically put it. I'll probably put it in the corner somewhere. I can't just move it. I can't just move it down from this one right in here straight up, like right there, because then if you're at the Weber, you're gonna be hitting your head with this, right? But she really likes this this deeper sound. You can get chimes like this that the tubes are smaller, okay, but it doesn't have this nice sound. But boy, when it gets windy, she's going to be hearing this, and hopefully the neighbors aren't going to complain or anything. And if so, then we just take this off, okay? And that's still going to move around, but that'll help soften it like that. But more than likely down the road, like I say, I can take this, poke another hole up in the stucco, because I know how to do that. All I have to do is watch my video, right? And you saw how easy it was. And to start my stucco hole, I would just drill a screw hole up there and pull that down, and then just start using my nail set. Tap, 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 tap. And pretty soon, it didn't really take me that long to whack a hole in that. Okay, now if your stucco is 50 years old, it's going to be harder than this stuff. This is 24-year-old stucco, and they don't make it as thick as they used to. Years ago, they used to make it thicker, about an inch, with 2 layers, maybe 3 layers of stucco on the stucco wire up there, and then that's stucco's like hard concrete that's a little bit harder to chip, but you could do it, and you might have to get a drill bit for stucco or something and to get your starter hole and use that and so forth and so on. But and then a crummy old nail set is all I used. Okay, and then I can do the same thing like this and do it over there. Okay, well, that's it for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. I hope you learned some things, maybe what to do, what not to do. Hey, Video Joe did it like this. He's gonna whack his head, whack-a-mole, every single time he comes out that door. I'm not gonna put it there, I'm gonna put it over there in the corner, just like he said, and that's probably what I'll end up doing. But hey, I take my orders from the boss woman, and if she wants it here, I pointed out all the stuff to her, and she seemed to be okay with it. I mean, that middle thing, I'd have to tie that up higher, and then I would have to take this and run it up about like that, and maybe miss. But I didn't want it up too high, or else it's going to hit up here. Do you see what I mean? So different things that I could do to modify this to make it go up a little bit higher, right? But as it is, powers that be say, hey, Video Joe, you can just leave it here. I'll give her the idea about this after she whacks her head a couple times, and chances are down the road I'll be installing it over there. Here's one other way you can install it. We used to have a condo, and the ceiling outside was wood, so I just took a bicycle hook and I screwed that right up into the wood and hung the chimes off that. But that's, you know, that was outside in a an outside wood deck by a river and stuff, and that went okay. But for here, I'm glad I used the swag hooks, and you could do the swag hooks on a wood ceiling. You can use a little small one like that, or you could use the big one. You could use the big one, just like I showed you with the threaded rod for wood threads. Okay, so all kinds of ways. You know, if there's a will, there's a way. There's different ways to install a swag hook or to install something up on the ceiling. If you got questions, take a picture of your ceiling and go down to your local hardware store to show them that and tell them what you want to hang, and they'll give you some different options, and chances are they'll show you all kinds of stuff like this, or they might have some other idea for you too, and you can ask them any questions you want and they should get you set up. Okay? Well, I'm glad that little project is over with. What am I going to show you next time? Well, it's going to have something to do with this little box. Look at this. Looks like a little box. I call that a pancake box. Here's a cut-in box. Here's another cut-in box. Look at that. One's deeper than the other. I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to use yet. And I'm going to be installing some ceiling fans. Ceiling fans to that? Yeah, I've got some ceiling fans downstairs and in an area where there's no attic per se to crawl around. I've got a great idea on how to hook up a ceiling fan without chopping holes through the ceiling, chopping holes through the walls, and fishing wires down to a light switch, power switch, get that back up. There's not, my goal is no taping, no patching drywall, no taping, texturing, sanding, skimming, priming, painting, texturing to match the existing texture, none of that kind of stuff. And I have the best idea I've ever thought of on how to get power to a ceiling fan where there's no attic. You know, if you got between a first and second floor, let's say, you might be able to do the same thing. And that is coming up on some of my future videos, be watching for them on my channel.